Here is Dodge Dart 2015, one of higher level trim models. I think it's like premium or RT or like SX. And long story short, it doesn't really matter that the customer came in, stated that the car wasn't starting or was starting intermittently, and I got to the point where troubleshoot and figure out that the starter is going bad slightly, so I recommend to replace that, recommend replacing it. Well, whenever I started the car, I felt like a noticeable shake, almost like it felt like the car is misfiring, right? And I'm looking more into it as we speak here, so not very noticeable, but my original thought was check the spark plugs, and I was like, well, man, if you never done it, maybe it's a good thing to start thinking about it. Which customer response was he did replace the spark plugs about a year or so ago. My next idea was to check the engine mounts, or a fuel delivery system was one of the initial thoughts too. However, upon checking the engine mounts, and as you can see here, I got my trusty pry bar. It's really hard to see this mounts, get a good angle just because you have an air intake in the way. But as you can see, you get your pry bar in there, and clearly the engine moves up and down quite a bit. As you can see, that mount is completely shot, so the one next to the airbox or below the fuse panel, that one is even harder to see without replacing anything or taking things apart, and it's a lot harder to find a good prying point. But I mean, I can already see a good slight movement, so my recommendation was at the very least we have to replace one, but second one wouldn't be a bad idea. So long story short, here we are. If you have a similar problem, another thing that I noticed when I actually moved the engine mount and with my pry bar and whatnot, you could have noticeably see a difference in the car performance at idle. A lot of shaking inside the car went away. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna replace the engine mount and we'll go from there. So thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. Please subscribe if you can. It's only one click for you, but a lot of help for me. Thank you and stay tuned.